Hey, afternoon, everybody. How you doing? Bearcat Sports Show again, coming to you live from where we live from. But yeah, we you know what I'm saying? We back again. Hope y'all had a great weekend. I know it's a little earlier for most of y'all, but hey, we had to make a change to the programming because
Yes.
what we got coming up out, we'll tell y'all here in a minute why we made the change. But yeah, it's a good change, man. Y'all like it. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our new co-host. Y'all know him. Many of y'all don't know him. They rock with us, whatever. That rock with us on Twitter and stuff. Some of y'all seen him on one of our shows, another show that we do with Coach T. But we introduce Bishop to the show, man.
Bishop!
What's going on? What's going on? Hello,
What's
everybody.
up,
Thank you for
Bishop?
having me.
Yeah, yeah, for
Doing
sure,
good.
man.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming, man. We appreciate you agreeing to join the show. I know I know you're a busy man, but we appreciate you taking the time, man. Me and AJ, we have fun doing the show, but
We always have fun. Good time.
Yeah,
Good time.
it's always good to add a third opinion, especially somebody that knows football like man. We appreciate you. You know how we feel about you. Respect you a
I
lot, and just grateful
I
for
appreciate the
you.
praise. I really do. Because you guys, talking. It's always fun conversing with you guys, having different opinions. All everything we got going on. Sports. One thing we share. We may not share the same opinion, but we all share the same love for Chicago Bears. At least half blooded, going to Detroit Lions and everything. But we appreciate her
Hey,
still because
hey,
it's still love
relax.
for the sport.
Let's,
It's
hey,
still love for the sport. But
let's
she a half
relax.
breed, and we still accept her. We still accept her. She 50-50, but we
I
still
didn't get
accept
to
her.
pick my parents, okay? Like,
No, you
let's
did not.
relax here.
Oh, you,
Let's
you
But you picked the
relax.
teams. But you picked the teams. It's
I'm
all right
not,
though.
no, I'm
It's
not
okay.
picking
It's
a
okay.
side. I'm
No,
not
no, it's
picking a
okay. That's why I
side.
say you're 50-50. You're half blood. It's all right.
It's half blood.
that's all
Yeah.
right. That's all right. We know she's even though she rocks with Detroit. We know the reasons why most of us didn't know her, but I know she really loves the Bears. So it's
I
all
love both. It's easier to talk with the Bears because I find more fools than I do in Lions Twitter. So
Lions
it's
Twitter.
easier to troll Bears Twitter. They're a lot more sensitive. So
Lions
there's
Twitter.
Yeah.
They're cool though. They cool. Shout out to our boy
Engagement farming on
Blue.
X.
Yeah.
that. X
Shout out to
Twitter,
all our
same thing.
all our Detroit Lion fans that we rock with. Blue.
You already know, Blue.
And all that.
Ken,
Oh yeah.
you already know.
Yep. So it's all good. Hey,
The guys, they already know who they are. They know who
yeah,
they are.
yeah, yeah. Maybe
That's
we'll
my
have to
Kim
one
right
day
there.
ask them to come on the show, man, because they cool though. But I like Blue and Ken especially because they at least respect the Bears.
Yep.
They might not like us
Mhm.
because we're rivals, but they respect us, and they don't just say wild stuff. They got good football takes like we try to have. We don't try to be one way extreme, another way extreme. We try to keep it even
Unless
keel
you're
and
me
honest.
and I just live to troll.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But some of y'all don't know when she's trolling. We do, obviously,
Yeah,
but
that you can tell when they don't know when I'm trolling. I'll be like, "Come on, bro, relax."
eh,
I feel like I feel like
and they be sending death threats. I'll be like, "A joke, take a joke." I'd be using
I,
the Madagascar it's a joke meme.
I,
There is both, Justin. You already know. Don't play with me. Don't play with me.
yo, AJ is from Madagascar. Speaking of Madagascar, she's what's his name? Marty running away from Alex.
oh
Running
yeah,
out of
that's
Yes,
Sugar Honey Iced
hilarious.
Tea.
that's
When
me.
people coming after her.
That's me.
That's
But I do
hilarious.
I do want to give everybody the game though. Like honestly, AJ, she trolls at least 3 out of the 7 days of the week. You got to catch
Yes.
her on the other four. You'll get the honest, true opinion
You'll
of
get
her.
me honest, though. You definitely will get me on an honest day. If
Yeah,
you catch me on the right day, you'll get an honest opinion.
Yeah,
And
like
nine
I'm gonna throw.
times out of 10, I'm trolling.
Well, I'm gonna throw some out there. I'm gonna throw an opinion out there. You tell me if it's troll, if it's core, right? Core opinion from AJ is that there is no set expectations for Caleb Williams. It's just improve every single week and just progress and just show that you're comfortable with the game. There's no set expectations, no stats or numbers.
That's a legitimate tweet, a
Yeah.
legitimate opinion from me.
mm,
I'm
Gotcha.
actually serious when I say that. Every time I say that, I'm so serious. I have no expectations for Caleb Williams. I just want him to improve every week, get better every week, and go from there. That's literally my expectations.
100%. Cool. All right. As
I'm
long as we got that
right
out
there
there.
with her.
Yeah.
I'm right there with her because I feel like and we talked about this before, online, offline, everywhere you can think of it. I don't feel like it's fair to him to expect him to be the savior. You know, the QB savior that the Bears have been longing for forever. Like that's not fair.
Right.
You gotta give him a chance to get himself acclimated to the NFL game. Allow himself to work to a point where he feels comfortable out there. So I don't want to put undue expectations on him and expect him to be guy walking in cleats for the Bears. Like we don't need that. We got a good enough defense, special team, special teams. We got a really good punter now. We all know what Cairo Santos brings to the table. So why do we need to depend on Caleb to be everything? Like we got a good running game.
I'm gonna give a perennial quote that will go down in history for Caleb Williams. There's no need to duck. I'm here. That's all I'm gonna say.
I don't mind him saying that, right? I don't mind him saying that. Like, I want a confident dude, but me personally, I'm just not gonna put expectations on him that aren't necessary. Like for me, I'm just gonna let him play and see how he does, right? I mean, if you want to put expectations, that's fine. I'm not saying you can't. Me personally, I'm just not going to put any on him. Like, I mean, I get that, but at the same time, again, that's just me. I'm not putting expectations on it. Like, if you want to, that's great. Go ahead. I get he's the number one pick overall and all this other mess, but I feel like it's different, right? And I say this because there was a guy that most of the fan base really liked, right? So his departure is different, right? When Mitch Trubisky left, no one really cared, right? Like no one really cared like that. Like you had a couple people like, okay, good for Mitch, blah blah blah, but like I don't know, like you're talking about shoes to fill in terms of winning over the fan base. Now he's won over most of the fan base because some of the fan base just don't care, right? But with that comes these in my opinion, unrealistic expectations for this kid his first season. I'm seeing people say he needs to throw for 4,000 yards and 35 touchdowns. To me, that's unrealistic. That is very unrealistic. Like, I will be happy if the man put up 3,000 yards and 20 touchdowns with 9 interceptions. To me, that would be fine. That would be a successful season for me. Why? Because I just want him to get better every week. That's my expectation. Get better every week. But I'm not going to put numbers on it because knock on wood and say he gets hurt. How long is he going to be out? See what I'm saying? Like, no.
Well, then I guess the conversation. I get what Dan is talking about.
I get what he's saying. I'm not disagreeing. Right? I'm not disagreeing.
Like there's two conversations about like expectations, numbers, what you were saying about, and then talking about like what you want to see from them, right?
Yes.
Numbers. It's hard to predict when you haven't seen film on the NFL level, right? Mm-hmm. The thing is, those are for the fantasy goers, for the prop bettors, do what you can. If you have that knowledge, hey, throw your expectations out there, throw some numbers out there. What I say is this: I do have expectations for Caleb Williams because as a former athlete, you go into each season with goals and to achieve certain goals, right? So my thing is with Caleb, it's not necessarily more of a number; it's more of can you show me that you are ready for the NFL level? Are you ready to take the lead of this team each and every week? Are you able to adjust to different defenses that you're going to see they're going to challenge you? Because of the thing that there's a lot of advantages that Caleb Williams has this season. One, there's no film on him, just from college, right? Mm-hmm. Two, he has a great defense backing him, right? Three, he has one of probably the top wide receiver room in the league right now, with 3 wide receiver ones. And then you got 2 tight ends that are very good blockers and very good pass catchers. And then you have the wide receiver room, the running back room that we have. So there's a lot that goes into feeding in what Caleb Williams can do. We see what the arm talent is. We hear about what he's doing in the huddles. We see, like, even today there was reports that, you know, he matched and even beat the levels of the number one the team one defense and scrimmages and 7-on-7s and 2-minute drills. So we're hearing the oohs and ahs right now from Caleb Williams. Of course, we're going to hear about that ridiculous interception that Tyreek Stevenson made. You know, we're hearing about
that was
Tyreek. I've been saying since last season, it's like Tyreek Stevenson was getting bullied last year. He's going to be the one doing the bullying this year.
That was hella sweet. That was crazy.
But we hear Caleb Williams is like, hey, he's holding on the ball a little long. Hey, who else did we hear about doing that? Right? Who else did we penalize doing that? And it's not that it's a fear of getting the ball out. It's the fact that, like, everybody is fast. Everybody's faster here. There's different holes. Now we already know that Caleb Williams could look off of coverage. He did that in minicamp plenty of times. Even Jalen Johnson, Mr. 1 of 1, came in and said, hey, I'm about to go in. I'm about to get this pick. This is an easy pick right now. And then he rushed it, sailed over his head. He's like, that pass was different. He got that touch. So right now, I'm telling people right now, when it comes to training camp, you're going to hear a lot of mistakes from Caleb, because you want to get them out of the way. You want to see what you can do at the NFL level, especially against a defense like this. Is the best test that you have. Hey, let's see what throws I can get away with. Let's see what plays I can get away with. Let's see. We heard, there's no pads, of course, but we heard the pass rush was getting there, and Caleb was forced to step out of the pocket, shift and drift to where he was. So he has pocket presence. However, there was a couple that should have been sacks. So like I said, it's really just like the majority expectations fall in two categories: either numbers, which are ESPN or PFF or whatever you look at, or just simply, hey, wins and losses, and how does he respond to them, and what are we looking at, each game.
So to add on to that, I agree. We agree with you, Dan. Like, and I think that so going forward, we don't have any individual expectations. Me personally, I don't. Except for him to elevate the team, which is what we have been told he's gonna do. So that's the expectation on him. As far as like
the rest of the team,
I'm not worried about his stats right now, and I could care less about stats. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a stat person, so I guess that's where me and Elise were coming from. So we should have explained it a little bit more, but team wise, if the team was borderline close to being a playoff team and he is supposed to elevate the team, then we should see playoffs.
Right, we should see them make the playoffs. Yep.
So and this what he also said, I expect the confident off. Yeah, exactly. If he is a better quarterback, as some pundits have said, then we should see a more competent offense. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
If not, then we have to have that conversation in a few years. You know what I'm saying? And that I want to give him a chance to actually mature and hopefully the offense will be confident. But like if it's struggling for like the first 4 weeks, then you're gonna be like, hold on, man, what's going on? Like,
right, yeah, that's where I think it's like I think that's the difference. It's like I don't have any individual expectations for Caleb Williams. I could care less. But for like the team, obviously, like the way people are talking, I expect this team to make the playoffs. But Caleb Williams as an individual, I'm not putting numbers to him. Just get better every week. That's what I expect him to do.
Yeah, no numbers. Just be. You're the number one pick for a reason. So we need you to play like that. But don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, hopefully you can limit the mistakes. Hopefully you can run a competent offense. But like, hey, I'm not expecting him to be rookie of the year and all that.
Right, no. That man could throw 5 picks. If we won the game, I wouldn't care. I'd be happy. I'd be like, hey, we won. That's literally how I'm viewing this season.
Not if he's on your fantasy team.
If he's on your fantasy team. Yeah.
Well, that's different, but I'm looking at it as like for me, like from my perspective, right? Because I'm probably not using him for fantasy anyway. From my perspective, that man could throw 5 picks as long as we win the game. I'm a happy person. That's it. Like I'm so serious right now when I say that.
Yeah, no.
Like,
I think
if he threw for 400 yards and we lost the game, I'm gonna be really mad, like really mad, because I'm gonna be like, we lost. I could care less about the numbers you put up. We lost.
it's just like you yesterday, and some of y'all, we also on with Coach T on Sundays. We're doing like schematic breakdowns, different stuff
Right.
like that. And we're gonna do a pregame. I'm not sure we're gonna do post game yet, but I know we're gonna do pregame. I won't be on there, and neither will Bishop. Not every Sunday, because obviously some of y'all know we spiritual people, so we go to church. So that's being real. So we won't always be on there, but I know Coach T, AJ, and Justin will be. But you want to hear like breakdowns, like Bishop brought up a good scenario yesterday. He said, "Would you rather him throw for what'd you say? Was it 400 or 360?"
So like so here's the scenario. There's two scenarios you have, right? Because we have like a lot of people have a broken conception of what a perennial offense looks like. Would you rather have in both scenarios they win, but would you rather have him throw plus 300 yards, like 350 yards plus, 3 touchdowns, but the rushing is like, averaging 2 yards carry, not even a rushing tutty? Or would you have scenario 2 where he throws for like 286 yards, he's like 20, like the attempts, like 24 attempts, 21 completions, 2 passing touchdowns, and then the rushing game gets like a plus 100 as a committee with a rushing touchdown? Like, which one would you rather have?
Yeah, and I think
I'd
we
have
all agree.
I'd have the top one, the 21 to 24, with the rushing team getting like 100 yards plus a rushing touchdown.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a good balance, right?
That's a
Like,
scary
again,
offense.
but again, as long as we win the game, I'm happy. So
Think of-
it's just, for me, it's wins or losses. Did we win or lose the game? The rest of it, I don't care about. Like, that's really how I'm approaching the season. Did we win or lose? If we won the game, great. Like, that is fantastic. That's what I want. If we lose, I could care less what stats he puts up. Do not care.
I mean, you look at it. Most teams that are successful have decent running games. You know what I'm saying? Or people that won a Super Bowl. Like I don't remember a team just like even when the Patriots were throwing the ball all over the field, right? Even that Super Bowl when they were down 28-3, how did they get back in the game? It wasn't just Tom Brady throwing; they ran the ball. They kept running the ball. Yep. And then Tom Brady got going, and then obviously he took over the game, but they ran the ball into the offense, found a rhythm. Kansas City did the same thing in the Super Bowl, and so was San Francisco. San Francisco ran what's his name?
McCaffrey
most of the first half. They kept beating. So it's like you need a running game, in my opinion, to be successful in the NFL. You don't have to be, you don't have to be Derrick Henry run for 100 yards, but guess what? Kansas City used Pacheco when they needed him, and then after Pacheco kept the offense kind of churning, that's when Patrick Mahomes took over the game, and we all know the end result. You see what I'm saying?
That's
so
Pacheco
look at Cincinnati. Cincinnati's had all them weapons, but they were at their best when what's the running back's name?
Joe Mixon.
When Joe Mixon was healthy and running the ball. They are at their best when he's healthy, because you can't. You had 3 receivers that are really good, and then you got Joe Mixon's so it's like you got to pick.
Bro, they just lost Joe Mixon to Houston, and then Houston signed Cam Akers yesterday. I said, "Oh, it's over." I said, "Damn." I said the Ravens better kiss their chances goodbye.
Yeah, I'll give y'all an example. Pittsburgh is better when Harris is running the ball. Najee Harris is running the ball.
Yeah, and Jaylen Warren, he a dog too.
Yeah, so
he a dog too.
All these teams, they got good running games, and when they running games going, you see what happened. Look at Miami. Miami started going down when A-Chain got hurt, and then
they were not the same offense.
He got hurt. He was in and out the lineup.
Bro, that was Buffalo though too. When James Cook got hurt, and their offense went stagnant for like those 4 weeks or 5 weeks it was when he was out. I think it was last season before that. When he was out, their offense was stagnant and it was crazy.
Yep. So again,
you need a good running game.
You need a good running game, in my opinion.
Look at Detroit. Why do you think Detroit had so much success last year? They have 2 good backs who run the ball, and guess what? That sets up play action, which is what Jared Goff is good at. Like, bro, it's crazy. It's not rocket science. You would think. That's why I don't get why people grown up and down why they had to pay these running backs. Your running backs are like one of the most important players on the team, bro. Like they set up the offense, in my opinion.
No,
I don't
100%,
know.
and that's what it really comes down to is what's good for running the ball, control clock management. You know, controlling
Hello.
time of possession.
Yep.
Like my thing is this: you know how dangerous a quarterback like Caleb Williams can be with receivers that he has when DeAndre Swift or Khalil Herbert or Roshan Johnson is averaging at least like 4 yards a carry. Because now you got to worry about that. It's like 4 yards. So if you're averaging 3.5 yards a carry after 3 rushes, is that a first down? Yes, it is. So that's what you look for. It's like you look for the yards per carry, like the average yards per carry, and you look at that as like that's a perennial thing. The thing is, going back to my last statement that I made yesterday, when I said don't expect Caleb Williams to really have to like eclipse 300 plus passing yards because the opportunities. Here's the thing: if we're flipping the field, in order to get 300 passing yards, you have to work with the majority of the field, correct? But if we're getting turnovers, if we're stopping getting 3 and outs, if we're if our legendary punter to be is pinning him back, but within the 5 to 10 yard line, and our defense is doing their thing and they're punting and we're receiving on the 40, you got 60 yards to work with, right? Each time. The thing is, a good running game, especially if we take the lead early, there's no need to throw the ball and sling it everywhere, right? It's about clock management at that point, keeping that offense off the field. So
and
running backs are going to come in.
That's how you beat a team like Houston, right? You keep the ball out of CJ Stroud's hands. How do you do that? You run the ball and waste as much clock as possible. Keep their defense out on the field. That's how you beat a team like Houston. Don't give CJ Stroud opportunities to sling the ball up and down the field. Because if you do that, the game is over. Like you're done. You're finished.
The Bears will beat the Houston Texans as long as they have more than 8 drives and at least 9 to 10 minutes more of time of possession.
Yeah,
that's how you
run the ball.
Yeah.
That's how I see it. They have to run the ball. Like they have to run the ball that damn near that whole game. Like eat the clock.
Yeah, they can't.
And hope that Swift or Roshan or Khalil Herbert can get you 4 or 5 yards, 3, 4, 5 yards the first couple carries and get them first downs.
Yeah, they can't let that offense get on the field.
You cannot let that offense on the field.
No, 100%, because you got Stephon Diggs now over there.
Yeah,
I've been saying the last offseason the Houston Texans will be adding a wide receiver. I thought that wide receiver was going to be T. Higgins for the longest time. That would have been, and T. Higgins would have been fine. But when you step up and get Stephon Diggs,
hello,
that
they
changes.
Got Joe Mixon. That's what I'm saying. They got Joe Mixon. Yeah,
you have some of the top AFC weapons now with a CJ Stroud. Which again, here's the thing: there's a reason why they call it. We know CJ Stroud is elite. Like he showed that last year, right? His benefit was seeing the Baltimore Ravens defense early, and he also said in an interview that the offense was easier to digest than it was at Ohio State. So that also says something, right? That shows that who's their OC? Slowik.
Bobby Slowik.
Yeah. So Bobby Slowik, shows that, hey, like he knows how to communicate that offense in terms where CJ Stroud can understand it. With the fact that it was easier for them to maintain, it means cadence is there, play calling is there. He understands his assignments. He understands his wide receivers' assignments. He understands blocking schemes. His benefit was they faced the Ravens week 2, right?
Yes.
Week 2.
Straight up smoke.
Yeah, they needed that because that honestly was that aha moment for CJ Stroud. The Ravens threw everything at him. They threw coverage blitzes. They threw hidden zone schemes, QB spies, outside DE contains. Like they threw the sink at that man, and he did not do too bad. He performed like a rookie. He looked mortal, but he saw that early, and guess what? Everything from then on was easy to him.
I think that's why they had that trap game against Carolina, though, because Carolina was on their ass.
All that to say, though, this is the same thing I will say for even Jordan Love. Hey, there's a reason why they call it a sophomore slump, because now you got a whole season of film to study on these guys.
Yeah, but Jordan Love went through the same thing. He played Detroit week 2 in Lambeau on Thursday night. And
he did. He did.
Yeah,
he had
he
tough
played
early. And that's the thing. Like I do disagree. I mean, I agree and disagree with Jordan Love's take right now for wanting to be, get his deal done. As as a
That's
quarterback.
not my issue.
And that's the thing.
What did he say? What did he say?
So he's holding out until he's not. They're not
gets paid.
Until he gets paid, gets a new contract. He's not going to practice. Which I think the Packers are handling this better than they would handle Aaron Rodgers, because they're not pressuring the practice. They're just like, hey, we're going to get it done. We're going to take care of you. This and that, right? My thing is this. I saw, yes, the Packers did extremely well last year, right? But it was not because of Jordan Love. It was because of great coaching, the support cast that they had. Wide receivers got better. They stayed healthy.
Come on, Bishop. You know coaching don't matter. Stop it.
So with that being said, the one things I do like about Jordan Love, he tests the 50-50 balls. He tests them, right?
Yes, he does.
The fact that he sat behind Aaron Rodgers did help. My thing is that there wasn't enough consistency in the fourth quarter. Like, a lot of fourth quarter drives ended with him throwing bad interceptions. And my thing is that because there was more times than not that it's like, hey, if the last drive was on Jordan Love, he didn't get it done. He just didn't. The Packers did well when they were well ahead, but when it came down to clutch time, Jordan Love wasn't clutch. So my thing is for him to ask and possibly reset the market. Like, my thing is if I'm the Packers organization and you got somebody like Jordan Love that showed y'all went deep in the playoffs and everything, I would extend him. Would I reset the market for him? No. So that's
you saw what Trevor Lawrence got, and he didn't do diddly squat last season.
And that's what I'm saying. Because of Trevor Lawrence is now paving the way for Tua Tagovailoa. Yep. He's paving the way for a lot of these other quarterbacks that may not deserve that record-setting contract or that market resetting contract, but because of Lawrence, Trevor Lawrence, now you have to have that conversation. Because Jordan Love outperformed Trevor Lawrence, and Trevor Lawrence was supposed to be that guy. Yeah, Trevor Lawrence was supposed to be that guy to change the NFL. So there were even talks about even shortening the time of a player going to college to go to the NFL, but because of
Trevor Lawrence,
of Trevor Lawrence, and so when you have somebody like Jordan Love, who was a second round overall pick
no, he was a first rounder, pick 26 out of Utah State.
Utah State. Okay, when you have somebody like that, and then they outperform in an NFC conference, they go deep in the playoffs. His first full season, and Trevor Lawrence has like 3 full seasons under his belt, and you only have one playoff. Like, this guy, first season starting, goes to the playoffs with a winning record.
Bro, and get this, the Jags should have never won that game, because didn't he throw like 3 picks at half or something?
Oh, you talking about against the Chargers?
Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah.
The
Chargers blew the game.
The Chargers choked that game. Let's be real about that.
At the end of the day, Trevor Lawrence's contract is the reason why Jordan Love will get paid. Is the reason why Tua Tagovailoa will get paid. It's the reason why Dak Prescott will get paid too. So I guarantee you, owners were calling up Jacksonville when that deal was made and how much money it was, and saying, "What the hell are you guys doing? Like, you guys literally just broke the league," because Trevor Lawrence did not. I agree with what Acho was saying on the speak, saying he's still getting paid for what he did in college.
Yeah,
for what he's getting paid on potential.
Absolutely. Like, he hasn't done anything.
He hasn't been terrible, but he hasn't lived up to the number one.
He hasn't been otherworldly.
Didn't he get what did he get? 295? Or maybe I'm way high.
He got 50. I know it's like 55 a year. He's up there with Joe Burrow.
There's no way he can be on the same level as Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow went to a Super Bowl, bro. I'm like, this man.
Here's the thing that people don't understand about Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow literally changed his whole throwing motion after his rookie season. This man was literally pushing the ball out of his hand versus actually rotating, because quarterbacks are rotational players. This man was strong arming every throw. We're talking about through high school, through college, became what the number 1 overall pick, and went to a Super Bowl in his second year after injury, and like, he changed his mechanics and was still successful. That is otherworldly success. Joe Burrow, when he got signed, I understood the contract that he got. I understood why he got it. With Trevor Lawrence, Lawrence needed to.
Wait, he earned that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But Trevor Lawrence, my thing with Trevor Lawrence is this. he was going to get extended. That's no
Yeah,
Well,
question.
yeah. No
But
one's doubting
the
that.
numbers-
Yeah, no.
But the numbers though is straight. He's getting paid on potential. When
There's
he could
no way he
potentially
should be highest paid QB. Well, what
Exactly.
But
did
he
he do to
tied up
earn
there
that?
with Joe Burrow is crazy, bro.
What did he do
This
to
man
earn that
getting paid more.
designation? You know what I'm saying?
Bro, y'all know I hate Jared Goff, but this man's getting paid more than Jared Goff, and Jared Goff at least led his
No
team
way.
to an NFC title game, bro. What?
Like,
Well,
if
Jared
he-
Goff not only led the Lions to the NFC title game, but he also led the Rams to a Super Bowl. He has his pedigree
That's
behind
what I'm
him.
saying.
You know, so it's like Trevor Lawrence. He doesn't even have a playoff win under his belt.
Yeah,
He does. Okay, it was that wild card
Yeah,
game,
against the
right?
Chargers. Yeah.
That's right. So it's one of those things where it's like, look, this is why it's hard to predict situations with teams, because situations do matter. If that was the Bears, he's not getting extended. You know, if Trevor Lawrence put up the numbers that he did,
no, he's not.
he's not getting those numbers. He may get extended, maybe like the full 4, but he's not getting those numbers. My thing, and then tailing it back to what we talk about expectations. I think we talked about it earlier on the show a couple Sundays ago about win-loss record. And it seems like the general consensus is about 9 wins for the Bears.
For Jacksonville?
No, for the
Bears. For the Bears.
Yeah.
So tying it back to everything, like, think about this, right? We have the roster that we have. We have DJ Moore until he turns 30. We'll have Rome Odunze. You know, he does well. He's gonna be that wide receiver.
4 years.
Yep. Caleb Williams. You know, we're gonna. If he's good as advertised, he shows what he's supposed to do, what he can do, what we know he can do. He's gonna get extended.
We about to pay that man a fat bag.
Yeah. So the roster being what it is now. The reason why they say it's a win now team is because if you're gonna pay Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze the money that they're gonna be owed, you're not going to be able to keep all that talent at one time, you know. So
that's why I said I don't think Tevin Jenkins comes back after this season. I don't. I find it hard.
You don't think they're gonna pay him?
No.
He has to be healthy for a full season.
I want them to. Want them to, but I don't know if they will. And you see the money guards are getting. You just saw what's his name. Quinn Miners got paid what, 20 million a year just now, or whatever it was, by the Broncos.
So
I don't know if the Bears pay that. I don't.
Me and AJ talked about this a couple weeks before we took our break.
Quinn Nelson about to get re-upped, and know the Colts is going to give him whatever he asked for, and he's like the best left guard in football, right? So he'll probably get 25 a year. Like I don't know if the Bears pay that. I don't know if they pay 20 to 25. I mean, they could prove me wrong and they could do it, but with the injuries he's had, and he has yet to play a full season, I don't know if they'll pay that. I don't.
And we was talking about that. We was like, we both agreed, like, will we pay it? I don't know. We wouldn't, but it's like, I think the Bears are going to, because it's like it's one of the things, like, you know how good he is, but you gotta look at the injuries. But it's like, damn, guards like him don't come along all the time. So unless it's a guy like Elisa, unless it's a guy that's coming out of college that's just as good as him, the Bears are gonna pay him, whether we like it or not.
I think they should. I don't know if they will, though. I don't know if they will.
Tevin Jenkins is what I call a glass cannon. You know, he's effective when he's there, and he's missed when he's not. And he's not on. And Tevin Jenkins' best ability is availability, and you know, we see it. We see it in the run game. When he's in there, he is bullying defensive ends and defensive tackles. You know, and I would. Poles knows trenches. That's his thing. He knows who he wants. Yes. I think Poles, if Tevin Jenkins can show that he's healthy all season, I think Poles does throw an offer at him. Is it a 4-year deal? No. Is it what these guards are getting? No, not even close. But it's enough to ensure security of, like, insurance almost, right? Hey, well, you know, you showed us for the first time that you can last a year. How about 2 more years? Show us again. And then you can get the money that all these people are getting paid. Because by that time, the market's going to be really high for guards. And
it's already high now. That's why I said that. It's already high now. That's what I'm
saying. And if he has a 2-year deal, 1 year guaranteed, you know, that's the thing. If he shows consistency with his health, because he's Tevin Jenkins is always talking about he's changing up his nutrition, his workouts, his recovery regimen, and it's not working. You know, that's true. He just needs to show consistency with his health. If he does that for 2 years, for 2 seasons, for this season, he does it for this season. I think he buys a way into another 2 seasons. And if he shows consistency, then he'll get that perennial 4-year contract right before you have to pay Rome and Caleb.
Right.
What if somebody throws a bag at him though?
Right. If someone throws a bag at him, I doubt he just walks away from that and says, "Yeah, let me take this 2-year cheaper deal with Chicago." I doubt he does that.
But that's the thing. Who's going to throw the bag at him if he hasn't shown consistency?
Any team could throw a look. I just saw the Rams. I saw the Rams throw a bag at Jonah Jackson. That man hasn't played a healthy season once when he was with Detroit. He's good. Don't get me wrong. He's a good player. But he, like Tevin Jacobs, could never stay healthy. So the Lions were like, "We're not paying you because you can't stay healthy." The Rams were like, "We'll pay you. Someone will pay him. It doesn't have to be us. Someone will pay him." The teams are dumb enough. You'll be surprised. Teams are dumb enough. They will do it. They will.
Desperate or dumb, whatever word it is. Hey,
I guess we have to see whose guards are coming up for a deal after the season, because then that would tell you, like, okay, they probably would throw a bag at him. Because there's somebody out there.
Right, someone will throw a bag at him. I promise you. Someone will do it. I promise you.
He's too good, man. He's too good.
He's really good. Like, someone will throw a bag at him. Even if he doesn't stay healthy this season, someone will do it. That's why I'm like, I don't know if the Bears would. That's why I want them to. I want them to pay him.
McCaskey's it's when we think about the Bears throwing bags, we gotta think McCaskey. McCaskey's
that's what I'm saying.
And that's what it is.
That's what I'm saying. Are they going to do it? I don't think so.
He just has to be not only healthy for a full year, but effective for a full year.
Do you think Kevin Warren will be able? Because to me, it seems like, and I talk about this a lot. Kevin Warren is he is changing the franchise slowly but surely, and it's like a lot of it's going over people's heads. So, do you think that that's something that he could potentially get McCaskey?
Sway the McCaskey.
Sway to hey, dog. Yeah. If you want a winning product, if you want to keep the butts in the stands, excuse me, you know what I'm saying? Butts in the stands, people watching, and keep the buzz you got, you're gonna have to pay some people, man. Regardless of what you do before.
Kevin Warren's his strength, like his hold and his pull that he has with his organization is all going to determine from this season. Whether if it's a worse season than last year, he's not going to have as much pull as he had previously. They're going to pull the reins a little bit. They're going to tighten that leash. If they have a successful season, like a double-digit win season, make the playoffs, get a playoff win for the first time since 2010, 2011, Kevin Warren's going to be able to walk around and do whatever he wants for a time being. What I say is this: it's when it comes down to trenches, like I said, Poles is going to be ultimately the one to make that decision and see potential, because Tevin Jenkins, he's shown what he can do, but it's going to be like Trevor Lawrence, though. You're going to be paying him based on potential, essentially. Potentially, if he's healthy, we're an effective offense. But what if he's not there? We've also seen the effects of when we missed Tev, and just like how we got that Tez effect, we got that Tev effect as well.
Right, but it makes you think about it, right? So, like, you look at the contract they gave Nate Davis, right? Like, do they want to put themselves in that kind of situation, right? Like, do they want to put themselves where, like, yeah, we paid this guy, but he's rarely ever here.
Right, you don't want to have a Ryan Pace situation.
Right, you don't want to put yourself in that kind of situation, and that's why part of me thinks they won't pay him. I want them to. Like I said, I want them to. I love Tevin Jacobs. I think he's a dog, but I don't know if the Bears will pay him. I don't. I guess we just have to see if he can stay healthy this season. That'll be the biggest thing.
Yeah, because he stays healthy.
If he stays healthy,
I'm sorry. They are.
Right. If he stays healthy, even if the Bears don't, somebody will. Someone will pay him.
Come with a ridiculous offer.
Right. Someone will pay him. Like,
the Bears.
It doesn't have to be the Bears.
Come in higher, or he gonna have to be like, I want to stay in Chicago
right. Unless he wants to stay in Chicago, I mean, then yeah, but I doubt he turns down, especially if someone just throws him a ridiculous bag. I doubt he doesn't take it. So
right. No, I understand. It makes sense.
Yeah.
But I would say the biggest question, turning it back to, training camp, what's going on? What do you guys think about the center position?
I'm scared, if I'm going to be really honest. I just have to see it. Because I feel like I've been burned so many times at that center spot. I just need to see it. Like, I'm not saying they can't be great or can't be good or whatever, right? But the fact that you're rotating centers kind of makes me not easy. I mean, I get you want him to have chemistry with both. I understand that. I don't discredit that. But at the same time, I feel like the quicker you can get this offensive line to gel together, the better it'll be for the team and Caleb coming into week 1.
I agree. You know, and you know, I saw a lot of people posting the short passing highlights from Caleb yesterday.
That snap was bad. That snap triggered me.
It was no. There's a couple things, but here's the thing that like I think people are, and you know, it's training camp, so football's dry. Everybody's looking for something to cheer about. And can anybody tell me why when he was throwing those flat routes to the wide receivers in that drill, when he just like caught and threw? Can anybody tell me why that drill is so important and why Caleb Williams looks so impressive doing it?
Because I'm trying to figure out. I don't know.
So the main thing that you look for when it comes to throwing footballs nowadays, you got to be able to throw that thing without the laces. One thing that I always learned is that when you get a snap, right, you get one turn of the football. If it's not on laces, too bad. That's how you're throwing it. Like if I catch it right here, or lucky enough to get it where I wanted to, you know, it's about what Caleb Williams was doing different. He caught it, boom, and just threw it. Didn't matter. He didn't do no flip. He didn't do no spin. It was just caught it and then engaged the route. That's such a quick and important tool to have as a quarterback, because cornerbacks know or have an inkling when it's about to be a bubble screen, and they will jump that route. They will jump it 8 times out of 10, and it's a pick six. So the importance of getting the ball no matter where you catch it and then firing off and having it as an accurate throw is super important. I think plays like that need to go more to, if we're going to do bubble screens, it needs to be tailored to the slot receiver, right? And people think, how do you throw a bubble screen to a slot receiver? It's easy. You have the outside receiver, you have the X receiver, and you have the Y receiver, right? So you have the slot that you throw into. The X receiver goes over to add the bubble screen. Tackle, which will be Darnell Wright in the situation, will come over with the receiver. The Y receiver, the slot receiver, will come under, and it's just a quick, simple hike, boom. Like that's all it is. There's no thinking. It's just a reaction time. Seeing how Caleb Williams conducted that perfectly with his mechanics is what made that special. People talking about, oh, he's getting the ball out quick. It's like you're not seeing the full picture. He's getting the ball out as soon as the ball.
That requires thinking, Bishop. That requires actual thinking and knowing what you're looking at. See,
exactly.
Most fans don't know what they're looking at, right? Like you're someone who played football, so when you look at passes and when you look at tape, you see things differently than other people. So
exactly,
you know,
there was this
9 times out of 10, most people are just basing their opinions off of what they hear from other people, not because they actually know what they're watching or knowing about.
Exactly. Yep. There was a drill that one of my quarterbacks coaches had where we had to train how to throw without the laces. He would take the ball right here. We would have our hand waiting. He would drop it. We will catch it. We wouldn't use our security hand. We were just catching however we caught it, whether it was something awkward like this or like how Jamar, and nobody knows how Lamar Jackson throws. Lamar Jackson throws the ball like this.
Yes,
like
he
javelin,
does.
You know, so if you catch it any way on the ball, however you catch it, that's how you're throwing it. And that drilled us to where it's like, hey, we get the ball, clap cadence, get the ball, get that one spin wherever it is, or if you even have time for that, and get the ball out no matter what. You know, I was observing some tweets from Kurt Warner, and you know, he's very old school. He hates the idea of quarterbacks throwing off lace, and it's like you're sacrificing accuracy. It's like not necessarily, because the way the NFL is now, and like there's a lot of things that go into there. I mean, like, yes, a ball can be slick, and yeah, you can have some bad throws, but at the end of the day, the way you hold a football is going to translate no matter what. Like, it's like the ball's going to spin. It's going to spin. It's going to get out as long as you have the right mechanics. Caleb showing that the quick passage when he just hey, catch, boom, and then engage.
So like I don't don't need 4 spirals when I throw my passes, Bishop? Is that what you're saying?
No, you do need spirals. You still need spirals, no matter what. I can show you if we ever go to a game. I'll show you different ways how I can throw a ball. I can throw the ball in different ways and still get a 0-point spiral, and it's all about the
Mine spirals like 4 times.
Sport. See that means you're not pronating your wrist. That's all it means.
Oh, here he goes.
You're not pronating. But we're not going to go into that because this is not a QB mechanics show. This is a training camp for the Bears.
You going? Yeah.
I need some QB mechanics. Mechanics.
I'm already. Hey, Justin already hit me up and said, you know, when we link up in Chicago, we're gonna throw the ball around. I said, hey, like, just meet up. I got you. You know.
Bishop, I'll say this. You know what I'm saying? Bishop was one of the main people that was saying why our former quarterback was having the issue he was having, and it wasn't basically all him. It was the way he was being coached up, and Bishop was harping on it so much that one day he got
coaching doesn't exist, Bishop.
The players just go out there and call their own plays.
Bishop had an epic rant, and it was awesome, and everybody was like, okay, yeah. So
Bishop, coaching doesn't matter. I'm gonna keep drilling that in your head. Coaching doesn't matter, Bishop.
All I know is I wouldn't have the skills I have. I wouldn't have the skills I have from natural talent. That came from coaching.
No, that's natural talent.
I started football as a running back. Okay, and you know why I became a running back? Because of Eddie George. He was one of my favorite running backs currently in the league.
Eddie
George. And you know his tenacity. You know, and then of course I knew about Walter Payton, but I wanted somebody I could relate to, right? And that's somebody I was watching football. Eddie George was that guy that was constantly, every time he got hit, he fell forward. But like I said, I was voluntold to be a quarterback my 7th grade year, and
voluntold.
Not voluntold. It was no choice. Like we were trying to see who can hit the soccer goal post, you know, the top of it from a certain distance, and you know, launching it. We went from launching it off of one knee, and you know, through as a 12-year-old kid throwing it about 45 yards and hitting that goal. They're like, no, you're not running back no more.
Yeah, you laugh at me, but that 4 spirals I got win me the quarterback job for my powder puff team. So
I'll tighten your spirals up. See, Walter Payton, sweetness, man. The sweet science of running the football was built through sweetness.
I just wore the big C today.
Yeah,
I could have put on Payton today.
It's funny because it's like, you know, a lot of people don't. To me, he's still, if not the greatest, one of the greatest, obviously, but people sleep on him. It's like nobody talks about him a lot. It's like this dude was disgusting. Like he could do everything.
Yeah, he was crazy.
He could do it, and then he'll still. That man could go block on the line for 5 straight plays and then rip off a 20-yard run like it was nothing. Like, come on, man. There's nobody like him. Period.
And I think the reason why we don't talk about him enough is because I think us as a fan base is trying to get away from the 85 Bears because that's all we have.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And that's definitely sad.
Yeah. I mean, he's like, Walter Payton is still Walter Payton. He'll always be, but we want our Walter Payton. We want our perennial right. We want to break
that 2018 Bears defense had me fooled. Let me just say that.
You know what? No. The 2018 defense, you know, so the thing with the 2018 Bears defense, I think that was one of the greatest defenses that we've seen since 2006.
Bro, that was insane. But they were awesome.
I will say this. They fooled us in thinking that our offense was great because they were so good.
To be fair, it wasn't. But let's be real about the situation, right? They did enough where all Cody Parkey had to do was hit a 19-yarder. And he couldn't do that.
Let's not forget that Mitch Trubisky had a wide open what was it, Javon Wims down the seam.
Yeah, it was Wims. Wims was a nutcase though. And he dropped it, didn't he? Didn't he drop that pass? Yeah.
Yeah, he dropped it. It literally could have put us in the goal line or it would have been a touchdown. We wouldn't have to need Cody Parkey. But you know what? I'm not gonna talk about past traumas because I still hear it in my head.
I'm still triggered. I'm still triggered.
And the fact
that's also why. But that's also like you said about the defenses, right, Bishop? Like you mentioned it earlier, we talking about the defense short field. That's also why the Bears offense, their numbers weren't great because they had short fields.
Right, they had short fields
all the time.
Right.
The best game that Mitch ever put up against was when he threw those 4 tutties in the first half against Tampa Bay Bucks.
Yeah.
And that was the most complete game. Yeah, them. Oh, then and then that was a Sunday night or a Thursday night game. No, it was a Sunday night game against the Dallas Cowboys when he had a
That was
rushing touchdown
Thursday.
against them as well.
Wasn't
Yeah,
that Thursday?
yeah.
I thought
One
that
of
was
them.
I think it
It
was
was
a
a prime
Thursday.
time game. It was a prime
It
time
was
game.
Thursday.
I thought
Those
Yeah,
were
I think it was Thursday though.
Those were the two complete games that they had that he had.
Him against the Cowboys, he shredded them up, and I was
did.
laughing.
he lit they.
But he reminded me
He
of
lit
Good Rex,
them
Bad
up.
Rex, though. He reminded me of Good Rex, Bad Rex. He was never as bad as
Ah.
Bad Rex, but he was as good as Good Rex. And we know Sexy Rexy, man. Like when he was good, nobody would beat him. Nobody was
Bro.
on him, man.
The most frustrating quarterback in Bears history in my mind.
Man, the
Yeah,
most
Rex
injury prone.
Grossman,
Like
yeah.
every time he got hit, you gas your breath. Like, is he get up? Oh, okay, he's up.
I'm
But
not gonna lie, Mitch was never the same after that shoulder injury he had though.
yeah,
Nah, he wasn't.
Because after that shoulder injury, he didn't even have like goodish games, right? Like after that shoulder injury, he wasn't the same Mitch. Because before that, he was pretty decent in my eyes. But
and I have a little rant that I want to go over real quick. You know, just a little mini rant to these stat watchers and these box score watchers.
yes,
So,
let's go.
So to all the Bears fans, all the stat watchers that want a quarterback to throw 48 to 50 times a game and just to gunsling it all over, you realize that is the worst thing to expect for a quarterback every single game. There's such thing as called arm fatigue. It doesn't just exist in baseball for pitchers. It's for football as well. You know, like if you want your quarterback to stay healthy, this is what I was saying yesterday. You want your quarterback to stay healthy, you want your average to be around 30 passes, right? Or lower or more. You know, nothing eclipsing over 40. If you're doing over 40, that means you're trying to play from behind. You're trying to win through the arms. Here's the thing. If you're doing that 4 games in a row, you're not going to last the season. That's just what it is. Reality of arm fatigue, you probably got at least 10 deep pass attempts a game before your arm starts to get tired. There'll be people that look at film and say, oh, this guy was open the seam. Why couldn't he do it? I'm going to tell you as a quarterback, hey, if I've thrown it like 10 times deep already and I see him running down and he's open, I'm not going to be able to make that throw because if I do, it's going to be terrible mechanics. Like elbows already sore, arms already hurting, bicep feels like it's pulled. I'm not ripping that. So I'm going to do a dump off, you know? So for everybody that's expecting a quarterback to throw it and rip it 45 plus times a game in order to get the 400-yard eclipse, that's not
To
the
be honest,
recipe.
That's what ended Andrew Luck. People don't want to talk about it.
Yep.
The Colts had him throwing 40, 50 times a game, and I'm like, why? You ain't gonna run the football. You're just gonna expect him to throw, like,
Exactly.
bro. And
you only got 2 days to recover because here's the thing: you got Sunday's game. You know, you got Wednesday practice. You coming up with a big thing of ice, like you're gonna look like Kobe after he dropped 81. You with ice all over your body still because you're recovering. You're getting ready for the next game. You're getting ready to do practice and everything, and you're still sore from throwing it like 50 times a game, 50 times the last time.
That's like you could tell who didn't play quarterback, like when you playing outside or playing quarterback period. Because I as you're talking, I'm sitting here remember the times that like I would play quarterback, like we playing like I was done the military or whatever, we playing for PT. I'm like, dude, after you like throwing 3 deep balls in a row and then try to come back and throw a short, but your arm hurt.
Yeah, your arm is tired.
And that's the average. Yeah. And that's the average. Like most of my training came from doing arm fatigue workouts. Like it was like, you know, like nobody knows why do quarterbacks sit down on one knee, and take a medicine ball and constantly throw it at the wall and catching it, right? That's to practice. That's the strength in arm strength, torque, and turn, like the turning motion when you engage your hips and throw. That's also to increase the amount of attempts that you can do a game. Every time you do that, when you hit the gym, it's important for quarterbacks to hit the gym, right?
Right.
There's a reason why a person that's built like Tom Brady can throw it 2 times farther than somebody that's built like Myles Garrett, right? And that's it's just pure science. It's simply like you don't have to be the buffest, the strongest man in the world, but you need to have rotational strength. You need to have a good grip on your arm fatigue, at least like, you know, endurance in your throwing motion. And you need to be throwing the ball correctly every single time. So because if you throw it wrong one time, I'll tell you right now, you're going to feel it. Like you can like there's an engagement. There's an engagement period where you bring the ball. If the ball is at center mass or you know, by your chest, you engage, you have the ball up right here. And then when you load it, this is the loading position. And then when you release, you want this arm fully extended before you even release the ball. If you're short arming it and you're muscling it through, you're going to pull something in your arm.
You can feel it when you mess it up too. You can feel it every time. You can feel it when you don't throw it right.
There's a point in time in high school. We were going against Paulo Verde out here, and I had a short arm throw, but I was getting teed off. Like the linebacker was they just had my number. So I would short arm certain throws, but I wouldn't fully extend my arm. So after about like 15 passes, I'm like, Coach, we have to run the ball for like at least the next 2 series. My arm hurts. And it's because I went away from mechanics because I threw my arm out by muscling the ball into where it needed to be. So like quarterbacks, people don't realize it's not just about throwing motion, arm motion, or anything. It's about having consistent mechanics. And that's the thing I love about Caleb Williams is that he practices meticulously. He has intent. He practices on the difficult throws, like that Jordan throw that you see him throwing in USC. He practices those type of throws. He practices his touch passes. He's practices sidearms. Like for me, I had 3 arm angles. It's 3 arm angles in the NFL. You have high release, 3/4 sidearm. That's how it is. And so for anybody to say, oh yeah, he has all these, everybody's falling in love with arm angles, but there's a reason that you have each one in different scenarios. You're not going to sidearm a middle of the field pass. You're not going to.
Come on, Bishop, you're ruining the fun. You're not going to sidearm from Caleb in the middle of the field. Don't ruin my hopes here.
Sidearm a middle of the field pass that the linebacker's eating that up every single time.
I want to see that right now.
But like I said, there's 3 arm angles, and Caleb Williams practices them all effectively. He has a high release, he has a 3/4 release, and then he has a sidearm release. We saw that the sidearm release did not work yesterday because we saw how Tyreek Stevens picked that off.
That was a damn good play, though. That was on Tyreek, though. I'm not gonna lie.
That's 100% Tyreek because
that was Tyreek.
He stayed on DJ Moore, so that alone again, DJ Moore gave him nightmares last season in training camp. We all heard about like, dang, is this Tyreek guy? And I said he's gonna get bullied, but he's seeing the best of everything. He's gonna come back. He's gonna be the bully this summer. It's not going to be talked about enough. Like Jalen Johnson, Kyler Gordon, and Tyreek Stevenson combination is not talked about enough in the NFL.
And Kyler Gordon said he's back healthy. Yeah, it's over.
That's what I'm saying.
It's over.
These guys are uber talented, uber athletic. Like I had the privilege to go to a training camp last year. When Kyler Gordon, it was the one where they had like that huge water fight afterwards, the water gun fight or whatever, and water balloons and stuff. And Kyler Gordon did like he how so there was Tremaine Edmonds threw a water balloon at him. You know how Kyler Gordon dodged it? He did a backflip.
Wow.
He backflipped a water balloon dodge. Like, bro, what? Like, stay healthy. Bro, stay healthy. But that's how athletic these guys are. Like they're insane. We like the most impressive interception I saw from Tyreek Stevenson last year was against Joe Flacco and the Cleveland Browns.
That one was crazy.
That one
I like that one he got on Jared Goff though. Was that Goff?
Oh yeah, when he baited him? Yep.
Yeah, when he baited that one from Jared Goff was crazy. That one was crazy too.
If the reason was the Joe Flacco one, if he was a second late, that's a touchdown. Because that boy was open. Even Jaquan Brisker was like, damn, that's a touchdown. And he saw Tyreek Stevenson get up. He's like, oh, and it's okay, we're running it back. So that's just it's just something that we have to keep a hold of. Like the secondary is going to look like monsters. So
defense,
that's
like monsters.
The defense. Like I said,
yesterday.
Bro, I need a Tremaine Edmonds bounce back season.
I'm telling you right now.
Frank, bro.
The offense is going to win some days. We all know this. That's what it is. That's life.
Right.
They're going to win some days, but defense is going to dominate.
But the defense, I feel like the defense wins camp though. Overall,
they're going to win.
Like bro, there's so much talent on that defense. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Like I said, my expectations coming out for Caleb Williams coming out the training camp each day is get better.
Get better every day.
Yeah.
That's what I did. Did he get better every day? That's all I care about. If the answer is yes, then it's a success.
It's like this, right? Confucius said, no matter how slow you're going, don't stop. Correct. That's just really it is. Just don't stop. If 1% of progress is still progress. Caleb is showing that, every day, Shane Waldron said it best. He made a step up since OTAs. That man, like Keenan Allen said though, like that man came into the huddle like he'd been here before. And now we're seeing, hey, I threw a sidearm. I held the ball on too long. This is what happened. But he's again. I said this literally in Spaces this past season. This NFL speed is different.
It is.
Caleb Williams was allowed to get away with a lot of stuff during the NCAA season. During the NCAA, his all three of his seasons. His 1 year at I'll say his half year at Oklahoma.
Half year at Oklahoma. Yeah.
And I would say it's his 80% year, his senior year to USC through USC.
Mm-hmm.
He NFL speed is different. That's why he's throwing these interceptions because it's like bro, in the NCAA that's a completion. In the NFL, that's a bat down or that's an interception.
Right. But that's good.
The window is tighter.
That's good. Right. The window's tighter. Yep.
Mm-hmm. And guess what's making
figure out what you can and can't do.
So that means he's leaning on to that anticipatory. Because people, I think, and another thing that I've noticed that people don't understand what it means to be with the difference between leading a ball and anticipatory throws. Anticipatory throws is literally like the best example I give is a slant, like a 5-yard slant. I'm throwing that ball before he breaks. It's getting to where he needs to be, but I'm throwing if he breaks on and I throw it and I lead him perfectly, that's a lead pass. If I throw it before he breaks and he sees it and the ball's there, that's anticipatory. There's a big difference. Throwing before a break on
yep.
And I said that somebody says like, well, there's no difference between anticipatory and leading the ball. I said, okay, here's the thing. Can you lead the ball on the go route? 100%. Yes, that's the whole point of a go route. Throw it and go get it. Can you throw an anticipatory throw on a go route? Answer is no, because there's no break on a go route at all. It's just about throwing. Yeah, I'll throw it. You go get it. So, like for anybody that's watching that wants to know look for anticipatory throws. Anything that has a break, a dig, a slant, a cross, anything that involves any route that has a break in it. And the ball gets there before that break. That's an anticipatory throw. That's what we're going to be looking for Caleb Williams because DJ Moore said it. Hey, what's the difference between Caleb Williams this year? From what you had last year. Hey, the anticipation's there. The ball gets out quicker. That ball's jumping out of his hands. So, like I said, it's not a dig at Mr. Justin, but it's more so of this is what separates quarterbacks in the NFL because the NFL speed is so fast. Even linemen are breaking sub fives now. We saw that we had one lineman that broke a sub five for the first time.
Right?
Yeah, I've never seen that.
4.9. That was crazy as hell, bro.
Official. So that's why I was saying, everybody's getting faster. That anticipation needs to be there. It needs to be there. So I would say, going back to our original conversation about training camp, I need to see. I don't necessarily care about the defense winning the day in totality. I need to see how Caleb is reacting and responding the next following day. And if he's showing flashes like, hey, if he's making the same mistake twice, where's the disconnect? I need to see the offensive line stay healthy.
That'll be the biggest one.
I need to see the wide receivers stay healthy. And I need to see Caleb Williams getting better every day, which it sees that he is. It's a start. Let's wait till the pads come on before we give actual opinions about what's going on. But let's wait for pads to come on because that's gonna be different. Hey,
pads come on.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. I fall for the bag before. Okay, think about it. Kenny Pickett looked really good in preseason. I watched all them games last year, and look at how he turned out in the regular season. Don't be fooled. That's all I'm going to say. Don't be fooled. Okay, do not be fooled by these great reports and things like that. Right? There's no pass rush, and in preseason, it's very vanilla. They're not even really trying to hurt people. So take it with a grain of salt.
You want limited play.
I want to see how he does during the season. That's when it matters. When the games matter and a win or loss heads into the column. That's what I care about. Everything before that, it's nice, right? Don't get me wrong, it's nice. But at the same time, I know not to take it with a grain of salt because I've seen camp and preseason heroes before, and then they do nothing, absolutely nothing in the regular season. Thank you. That's another example, Chase Claypool. So I'm just saying, yes, it's nice, but also don't get too high or too low, like I said before. Yes, be excited. Great. Caleb looks good. That's good to hear. But at the same time, all right, cool. wait till the regular season. Because if he has a bad day of the regular season, I know people are going to freak out, and I'm gonna be like, it's okay.
Yeah,
It's 1 week. It's 1 week. Calm your tails.
Exactly.
I'm not even worried about it, the first game. I want to see the second game when you're on the road on Sunday night.
Sunday night.
Whole nation against
that man Caleb is going to be. I'm gonna tell you right now. I will say Sunday night. That man Caleb's going to be a dog. Like he's going to be fiending. So. He's going to be fiending. He's going to be drooling at the mouth. It's every time they call a pass play, he's going to be looking for. It's like, yo, I want to deaden a lot of stuff. You like the thing about Caleb Williams is this, and it's a personality thing. It's not that he lives for the media. He has to because that's his brand. You know, like when you get paid, this is the first generation of players.
He loves attention. That's what it is.
So here's the I defer. I don't think he loves the attention. I think he has to monetize from the attention because that's part of, that he's a business. He says himself he's a brand. So think about this. Think about this. He's the type of guy that we saw. If you saw the Pivot podcast, the interview with him, which I'm pretty sure everybody saw.
It was really good.
He showed his human side. He's like, you know what? He's the type of guy that he goes to movies. He has Lego parties. He stays close to his friends. He's a kid. Like yes, he's a man, but he's 20, he's 21, 22 years old. He's 22. A kid. So the thing is, he understands. Here's the thing. Now you got Caleb Cares Foundation. He opened up his own investment firm. He's a business. So he has the thing is, there's a difference between being a Caleb Williams and a Johnny Manziel. Right, Johnny Manziel loved the attention.
Right, get off my man Johnny. Get off my man Johnny right now.
He loved the attention. Yeah. But Caleb, his brand, it requires some media. Like he can't be like a person like Justin Fields. Justin Fields, the reason why he didn't have a lot of media attention, think about it. He had a C4 sponsorship. He signed with Reebok, and he had Essential Water. That's not a lot. Those aren't brands that really need media focus. Those are brands that, hey, I'm just going to post like one thing on social media like a month and that's it. Right. Caleb Williams represents way more than that. And on top of that, like I think I've heard that there's like a Nike deal going in that he may be signing to. But the thing is, Caleb, part of his business mantra that he's been trained on is media attention. So that's why he has good character focus. That's why he has good interviews. He answers things very clear and concise. And when he doesn't understand something, he'll ask him to ask that question again instead of giving us some dumb answer. He listens.
But you can tell sometimes he do like that attention because he like certain faces he makes. He'll be like, yeah, he likes that attention.
Well, 100%. Like you saw.
I like that though. I think that's cool.
The McMahon selfie that he took was cool. That video is going around where where he's mimicking that influencer with the
by McMahon.
Yeah, or with the sandwich. So like it's like he's made for the camera. But I think personally, this is a sheer opinion. I think personally, he'd rather you see how his girlfriend dresses. She's very conservative. He's very, in a way, conservative in certain mantras. I think as a personal thing, he is conservative in certain ways, but because for business and for money, for the brand that he is, because he is his own brand. He says, I'm not just a businessman. I am a businessman. Like that's. He has that requires notoriety, that requires media attention, that requires, holding himself accountable, like being in front of the camera. Hard Knocks is going to just skyrocket his stock that he has in himself in the market for business, right? So, like I said, he had his first successful Caleb Cares Foundation last week, which was great. There's going to be a lot more that comes through with that. He had his first camp that I think DJ Moore had the camp and Caleb Williams showed up. I don't think Caleb Williams hasn't thrown a camp yet, but
he hasn't done it yet. But he is doing one. I think that's what I heard. He is doing one.
So he's gaining notoriety in the community of Chicago. Like I said, this guy from.
I'm surprised they don't have any more as many primetime games as they do this season. I was a little surprised by that because I'm like, bro, I kind of want to see Caleb Williams in the bright lights. That's just me though. I'm kind of selfish.
Do we know how many primetime games the Jets have?
The Jets have six.
Six. And how much? And the Bears have what? 4?
3.
3
or 4. So here's the thing: you have star power. Like Jets, because they have Aaron Rodgers, they're gonna get more primetime games. like CJ Stroud is going to get more primetime games. The Cowboys, just because they're forced down our throats, are going to get more primetime games.
I hate the Cowboys so bad, bro.
And people hate them because it's like they're not truly America's team. They're the American media's team.
They're really not.
But and for everybody that doesn't know, the Cowboys would consider America's team because they're cheerleaders. I'm just gonna let you know that right now. But at the end of the day, yeah,
it's like the Laker girls. It's like the Laker girls.
Exactly.
They were always on TV, so of course they're gonna be America's team. They're the only ones on TV.
Right? They show that, bro. If after the other games, it's usually a Cowboys game. I'll be like, bro, I am not interested in the Cowboys. Give me something else.
Exactly. Especially we all remember that 1 year. We remember that 1 year where there was nothing to talk about for football, so they just had constant interviews with Terrell Owens doing sit-ups. We all remember that year. That was the most boring year of sports media ever.
So boring, bro. So boring. It was awful.
We got nothing else better to do.
Right.
With everything else being said, though, Elise, what are your training camp expectations for the Bears?
Just put on a show for the fans. Because, for me, training camp's for the fans, right? So, give them a good show. Me, I just want to see the guys grow every day. Get better, get ready for the season. Don't get hurt. That's the biggest thing for me. Don't get hurt. Go out there, have some fun, put on a show for the fans, and let's get ready for week 1. Let's ride, baby.
Awesome. Julius, what you got?
Same. Stay injured. Try to remain as injury-free as possible. But be ready for week 1. I don't want to see what happened last year. We weren't ready.
Bro, they better be playing in preseason. I want no excuses. They better be playing in preseason.
Well, Caleb's already said to get 44 to 55 snaps this season.
I still feel like that's not enough, but it's fine.
No, think about it. Break it down. You got if we're playing 4 preseason games, he gets 55 snaps.
He's really playing 3. I don't think he plays the Hall of Fame game.
I think he does. Because the reason why I say that is because
he play the Hall of Fame game.
I mean, but here's the thing though. Like the reason why I say I think he does is because if he's getting 55 snaps in a 3-game load, he's going to be essentially playing each game till halftime. And I think that's too much time. Right?
That's not too much time.
Playing each game till halftime.
You saw how flat we came out last year. I
get it, but we can't. But here's the thing: we didn't come out flat because the team was bad. We came out flat because we didn't have a game plan. Our game plan was screens, and our game plan was get pressure on.
That, and I feel like the players didn't play enough, though. They didn't play enough.
Like in two things, and like I said, 2 things can be correct in this situation. I just think that I wouldn't we know what Caleb can do. I would give him a quarter each game. I wouldn't give him a half each game. I think playing a half, especially against the 2s. Think about it. You want to match what the number 1 defenses are doing. You don't want to, because if you go against the 2s, there's going to be a drastic difference. Of course, Caleb will annihilate. Exactly. He's going against the 2s, and he's looking good. It's like, bro, like
he gonna have me drooling out the mouth, like, oh y'all see this perfect performance.
Yep. Not realizing.
He's gonna pull a Kenny Pickett, and I'm gonna be like.
And that's what I'm saying. You want him to throw touchdowns against number 1 cornerbacks. You don't want him to throw TDs up against pedestrian cornerbacks that are going to be working at Walmart the next week. You don't want that because you want to see what you're going to really get. So my thing is like, you know what? I will keep the longest I will keep Caleb out there is because I mean they're going to get like 3, maybe 2, maybe 3 drives in a quarter, in 1 quarter. And then maybe give him 1 extra drive in the second quarter and then just pull him. That's my thing. Because if you're averaging about 11 snaps a drive, and you're expecting to get a 55 count in 3, and let's assume
he doesn't play. I think it'll be closer to 45.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's going to be like I think it'll be 55. Well, Eberflus and them, they said that based on their research on number 1 overall picks and having the extra game,
what do they consider a snap? Is my question.
Well,
do they just consider a handoff? Like, what do they consider snaps?
Yes.
That's another thing.
A snap count is basically just the plays that they run. Like, if you run 11 plays, that's 11 snaps. Because each snap has a connotation to it. It can be positive or negative. You snap it and you hand the ball off in the correct spot where it's not going to get fumbled. You snap it and you throw the ball and you have a completion. You snap it and fumble, and you snap it, you get it wrong, and it's a bad snap and you get sacked. Those are still 4 reps that you can learn from, right? So that's what they call snaps. Each snap is pretty much each play. So 55 plays for 55 plays for a quarterback, or 45 plays, 44 to 55 plays for a quarterback in a preseason stint. I think is a healthy sample size to see if the person has rhythm and sequence with their throwing mechanics and setting in the pocket.
I also don't disagree with that, but I also think he doesn't play the Hall of Fame game only because they have 4 quarterbacks this year, right? Mm-hmm. They have Bagent, Rypien, and Austin Reed, and I feel like that really the Hall of Fame game and maybe the last game is really where those two will get burned, if any at all. You know what I'm saying?
I bet that Caleb Williams does play the Hall of Fame game, but he plays one drive.
That's it. Hey, that'd be fine. Right, for the fans, I don't mind that. But I'm just saying, like, you think of guys like that, Rypien and Austin Reed, this is really who the preseason's for, because they're really fighting to see if they can get on a practice squad or something, or, you know, be a third QB for either the Bears or some other team. So they're really the ones that benefit more from this than someone like Caleb or Bagent in this sense.
They're not going to play long. Neither one of them going to play.
Right. I don't think they play long just because we have 4 quarterbacks this year.
Well, Austin Reed going to get a whole lot of time, I think.
You know what's crazy? Yeah. His name is the exact name of my little brother. That's why, like, when he got Austin Reed, that's my little brother's name.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I said, so when he was in the combine, I sent him a screenshot. I said, bro, what you doing over here? And he's like, wait, what? And then to see his name come up on the Bears roster, he said, you know what? Even if that's not me, that's so cool to see what that will look like in real life, in real time.
Bro,
so I'm like, that was.
I like the Austin Reed signing. I think he'll be our practice squad guy. I don't know. I'm still not comfortable with Rypien. Maybe that's just me. I'm not. I would look to bring in someone like, who was that backup for Patrick Mahomes last season? Blake Bortles. Was it Blake Bortles?
It's Bortles. Yeah. Now it's Carson Wentz.
It's Carson Wentz now. But I would bring in someone like Blake Bortles. He obviously knows he's not going to be playing, but he could be like that mentor guy for like Caleb and Tyson, right? Like on the sidelines. Not that Rypien can't be that, but Rypien has, I'm pretty sure, has either less experience or the same amount as Tyson Bagent.
Right.
In terms of like
played like 5 games.
Right. Rypien's only played like 5 games, and he's been in the league for like 5 years, 4 or 5 years. Right. So to me, I mean, I don't hate it. I wouldn't hate it if that's the route they chose to go. I just think there's better options in free agency that I feel like the Bears should at least think about or dabble a little bit with when it comes to that third quarterback. Someone like a Blake Bortles or a Ryan Tannehill. I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping.
No,
you know, maybe I'm tripping. Because I just think that would be good for Caleb and Bagent, you know, kind of have that veteran voice who's been there, done that, you know, been in every kind of situation. Maybe they see something different that Caleb or Bagent does a season. He could be like, hey, you know, I want to know what you see here that I didn't, or here's what I saw that maybe will help you in the future, something like that. Because I just don't think Brett could provide that necessarily.
That man ain't. Well, yeah, you know, it is what it is. But hey, he had a good show, man. Appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
In, man. Yeah. Make sure y'all like, comment, and follow all of us and Ray's Juke Joint. Next week we'll be back again. You know, we'll talk more about training camp, and obviously the Hall of Fame game is coming up.
That's next week, ain't it?
Yep, next week. And like,
it's next week.
And once say to the viewers, the best thing about liking and commenting is it's free.
It is.
It is free. It's definitely free. You don't have to pay a dime. There's Ray. What's up, Ray?
Yeah. Popping in. What's up, man?
What's up, Ray?
Get up off here. Get up off
here.
Bishop got to do real work. No.
Well, I
just ringing off the hook.
Yeah, I just came on to welcome you, bro.
Thank you, Ray. I appreciate the invite to the show, man. It's been fun today. The discourse to the people, you know, the topics. You know, it's always fun to do these with you guys.
Yeah, man. I'm just glad you could find the time and then, you know, come on with the crew, man. And you know, it's a big year, so I'm hoping to get a lot of great content from you three, man. You know, y'all show growing, and you know, I just came on just to welcome you formally welcome you because I DM'd you
Yes, you
and
did.
yeah, and you didn't respond back, but it's cool.
Dang,
You know,
it's
so it's wild.
This
This is why I said take my cell phone number down and give it to people, because the thing is, I do not get X notifications, and when I get it, it'd be too late. And then I'll see like, hey, somebody sent me a message like 2 days ago. I was like, damn, if I respond now, it's too late. So it's like one of those things, like one of those hot and cold things. So Ray, I do apologize, my man.
Good.
That's because I don't want to come off as disrespectful or anything. But like I said, hey, these two got my numbers. I told them to give it to you, give it to Coach T.
Should we add him to the group chat?
Yeah, I'm gonna add him to the group chat once I get the number.
Yeah.
But we're gonna be the juke joint is getting verified. I don't know why it's taking so long. Eric did it. I just don't know why. So we can't stream unless you're verified. So
that's wild. When you texted that was wild to me. I'm like, that is so crazy.
Yeah, so we can't. Go ahead.
No, I was saying I gotta I think I gotta sign out and sign back in because I did it yesterday, but I don't.
Yeah, but it takes a couple days.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it does.
Process takes a few days, but I don't know why it's taking so much long because Eric did it like Tuesday or whatever. But I don't know what all y'all talked about, but it's always go Bears. And
always, Ray, you know that.
Yeah, and I just, like I said, I just popped on so I could formally welcome Bishop to the team. And I know what time y'all going on Mondays. So Eric and I flipped with you guys. We'll go at 3:30 on Mondays now.
Oh yeah, that works.
Okay, cool.
We'll be at this time because Bishop has time during this time, and it works for me and AJ because we go anytime. But evening times we don't want to.
We go hard.
Family, so
when you work from home, it's not as difficult. You can maneuver your schedule a lot better.
Yep. So we appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure y'all, like I said, like, subscribe. Go to Ray's Juke Joint. Also, Ray reminded me yesterday that I got make sure you're promoting where we all are. We doing different shows.
Yeah,
we all a big family. Regardless of where we at.
Yeah, when we on different shows, just make sure that we all just everybody's everybody, but we all got our own stuff. So make sure we promote it.
We're one big family, man, and we're gonna try to get back on Twitter doing the spaces and stuff. But that's coming soon. But
that's coming.
I'm gonna get ugly this year. I'm getting ugly on the spaces.
But we ain't doing them all day.
I'm getting ugly on the spaces.
It's crazy.
We ain't doing
I have a $20 prop bet that at least gets a shadow ban after week 3.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I'm getting. Yes, I am. I'm getting shadow banned. Yes, actually, I got shadow banned like the end of the season last season.
Yeah, it's gonna happen week 3.
Nobody was getting my tweets. I was like, this is so wild, bro. I was like, they did not just shadow ban me like that.
We had to talk about it offline because I didn't even know I had got shadow banned. And I'm
Julius got shadow banned too. I was like, what?
I didn't even, and y'all know I don't even say nothing like that.
Yeah, you don't say.
Bro, it was crazy. It was crazy.
Yeah, no, but we appreciate y'all. Oh, special shout out, my baby girl. She turned 20 today, so it's her birthday.
Oh wow!
Happy birthday! Happy birthday!
Only girl and out of a bunch of boys.
Yeah, the last day of cancer season. So
yep.
So
if
she was born tomorrow, she'd be what I am, a Leo. So
Leo.
Isn't your birthday coming up, Ray?
Next week.
Yep.
Yeah.
I knew that.
Birthday, Leo season.
Yeah, Ray.
Get into we here. Yeah. We here. All right, y'all. We'll talk to y'all later. Love y'all. Appreciate you. See you next week.
Bye, guys.